Hello and welcome to another Demis Hellen tutorial. We are looking at this track on how to tame the bass today. What the issue is the bass is a little bit too overpowering. I've already reduced the volume on the mixer just to balance it out, but now we need to make it slot in a little bit better. I've done a few edits, I'll show you what I'm doing, and then you can see how it's fitting in with the track all the way through. This track was made in 2013. And I never finished it. Revisited in 2014, never thought it was good enough, and here we are in 2019, just remembered about it, and I'm actually going to finish this off, and this is going to be part of a release. So, thumbs up if you like the track, let me know in the comments if you like it as well. I get back to everybody, so just let me know if you do enjoy this track. It's a bit different to the trance that I'm doing as well, so here we go. So this is the new kick drum. So it makes the start of the track a lot tighter, makes the whole track tighter. Just to show you what the kick drum was like before. A lot of tail on it, it's a little bit too thumpy and muddy. Just it's more elephant on the track rather than something nice and precise. And it struggles to cut through later on in the track. Everything just crowds over it. So make a new kick. So the kick's not set out to be like this entirely. I'm going to get rid of some of that click, just a little bit of it, and probably do it in this video just so you can see how I'm doing that. But we are focusing on this bass coming up here. So here we are with the two synth riffs in first. So here's the bass. So it's a little bit flappy at the moment. It sits on top of the mix, it doesn't actually sit in the mix. Doesn't sound like it's part of the track. So it is a Nexus preset, I think. Yeah, this is when I was heavily using Nexus. Let's just listen to the bass with some of the other parts. So here's the melody introduction. So the bass is really just powering on through at the same volume. It doesn't have any sort of direction. And then we have the main melody. And then this is where the bass is trying to cut through, but it just sits on top of it. So it's sounding close, but it's not quite there. And then with the kick and everything else. Okay, so the synths need taming as well. It's a little bit overpowering, and they're a little bit unbalanced in terms of me balancing all the rest of the mix. I've balanced all the lows first, and then I'm going to go to the synths, especially because I've added one in. It's adding another layer and just adding to the volume. So I'll tame them at another point. I could even show you how them are going to be blended in another video, so let me know again in the comments if you want to see me blend those leads. There are 1, 2, 3 main leads with that melody hook. Oh no, there's 4. There's another one there as well. There's a couple of supporting riffs in there. So just let me know if you want to see that. And then the break here. Let's listen to the bass. It's just sitting there like dominant, and we want it to kind of support that melody and make that melody at the forefront of the change. And then here. So as you can see, it's not sitting very well. It's close. Don't get me wrong there, but let's just have a look at my poor editing skills. So I've added a few things on here. I've got kickstart instead of the sidechain compression, just so I can get an instant easy result. It's all straight rhythm anyway, and I've already removed the initial sidechain channel on some of the parts. And then we have up to here is where I've put my new bits in. and I've muted these two, which are compressors. No, another EQ and a compressor. Yeah. So I'm going to disable the first, so I'll just keep the bass playing and you can hear what the sound is changing like. I'm going to disable all the other things apart from FabFilter and the Pro Q3. So there's a lot of resonance coming through there on that kind of low mids where there isn't when it's off, so we'll leave that off. We'll have a look at this Pro Q3 here. Okay, so there's nothing on there, so we'll disable that one. This is the one that I've added in. And we'll keep on this FabFilter. So listen to what FabFilter's doing to the sound. Okay, so it's very... it's not nasally, it's got that kind of vowely sound to it. And I wanted to bring out some more of the dynamics of that sound. So let's have a look at this, if it'll let me click. We've got FabFilter Saturn, and then we'll look at Pro Q3. So you can see I have done some edits already. So I've, like in the last few videos, if you haven't seen it, I'll put it on screen now. Kick and bass, how to mix them. I've cut out where the kick is. There's quite a drastic cut there because it's quite a thick sound and it's from Nexus. There's very little control over the actual preset. I've rolled off up to 20 Hertz here for the low end. And then I've cut out a resonance frequency here, and I'll show you in a second, and then just boosted here because we have cut quite a bit there. So we do have a problem sound here, which is this one. So let's just have a listen. It's quite resonant, it's humming throughout the track, I can hear it all the time, and it just needed taming just a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's still there, but it sounds a lot better. And if we bypass this, so much frequency just conflicting with the kick drum, and in order to keep that bass nice and tight, we have to make sure that that kick can breathe in that section. It's probably a little bit too wide, but it's doing the job for now, and I can tighten that up in a second. And then on FabFilter is where the problem is happening. We've got too much drive. So I've muted this side. No, I haven't muted this side yet. Because there's only a few frequencies coming through. If we actually look at the frequencies, there's only a few there. So if we mute it, just add in a little bit of clarity. Just a tiny, tiny bit if you're listening in the headphones. So I'm going to mute that section for now. And I'm going to look at this. We've used the basic saturator. It's got heavy saturation preset on. So I know that I'm going to have to bring the drive down a little bit and then just check the tone of it. So that's nothing. Just want a little bit of overdrive there. So I'm just messing around with the tone control. Let's just mix it in context. Okay, so it's starting to fit a little bit better. Stuff like them little frequencies, we're making it sit on top. It's sounding a little bit better there. Let's just narrow this. Okay, it's still sitting nicely there. And let's just have a look at the mixer kickstart. Let's just check. Okay, right, let's have a listen to it now with this section. So it's got warmer tones. I'm just going to see if this adds any extra to it by unmuting this channel. It adds that vowel quality back into it, so I'm just going to mute that and leave it muted. I like the way it rolls off like. And you can see it then in FabFilter how it's rolling off quite sharp. And I like that because it's letting everything else take control in this section. See how the bass performs? It's sitting more in the background now. Okay, so it's starting to sit better in the mix now. Let's just have a listen to this section. So we're starting to focus more on the lead synth and the actual melody that we're encountering. Let's listen to this break. Yeah, sounding much better. If we just take off this. There was a bit too much overdrive as well, so if we put the overdrive back up, we'll just loop that section. So before we had this, and now we have that, so it's not biting as much on the distortion, and also on the mix cutting that frequency out there. Hear how much difference that makes. It's sitting on top of the track, and then it just takes that bass down a little bit lower. Very subtle edit, but that is all it needed. Let's listen to it again off. And then on. So everything is based around the less is more. Make sure you are only cutting what you need. The cut for the kick at the moment is still a little bit drastic, but that will get tightened up as I start to balance the rest of the synth leads out and tweaking the kick, because the kick is not fully finished yet, so I've just left a nice carved out section for it to sit. And then we can tighten it up a little bit more. But that is a quick look at just taming the bass and showing how simple, how quickly those little edits change the theme of a track. Before it was sitting on top, and now we have it sitting more underneath, but woven into the lower frequencies a little bit more. So with a little bit of compression as well, I'll tame it down, but very, very, very gently, so it'd be very transparent, like it's not even there. So thank you very much for watching. Like I said, leave me a comment down below if you enjoyed the video and if you like the track. Bad Culture, again, was composed and produced in 2013, revisited in 2014, and then here we are in 2019 trying to get it finished. And it's always been a melody that's really stuck in my head as a really good track. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.